afternoon, people. How we doing? I hope life finds us all good. If not, well then my prayers are with you and what's going on in your life. I did a video the other day on how I got started logging, and I got a lot of good response from it. More than I actually thought. This whole channel is being more than I thought it ever would be. But anyway, so somebody commented and said that crud, I shouldn't have been talking so much. Oof, I'd be a little upset if I was down there right now. Anyway, so said, hey, you know, it was a great story, and if you remember stories, you know, tell them to us. We're interested. So it made me remember the very first hooking job I ever took. I was actually pulling rigging for a company. It was a brand new 172 Medill yarder. And for those of you that know yarders, you know them 172s. That's the top of the line. So the owner comes over and tells me he wants to take me over there on their 155 Thunderbird swing yarder to 10 hook. And I didn't want to. I didn't want to. I wanted to pull rigging. And he, well, I'll give you more money and all this. And I'm like, no, I don't want to. You know, I live right down the road from the Crummy, so I don't even have to drive to meet the Crummy or anything. And, well, these guys, I'll make them come pick you up. You know, he gave me a sweet deal. So anyways, he drives me down there in the middle of the day. I go to work for him. And I get dropped off that night. Well, we work 10 hours a day, 6 days a week for this guy. So I look at my clock and it should be quit time, and I get on the handheld and I'm like, hey, isn't it quit time? And they're like, no, we don't get started till 7. I go, well, it's daylight at 6. And the yarder engineer, the Crummy driver, says, well, we're not starting till 7 because it's a 2-hour drive. We don't want to get up any earlier. Well, here I am, a big, brash, hot rod hook tender. I'm making the decisions around this side now, so I threw a little bit of a rigging fit and said that we were going to be here at 10 minutes to 6 tomorrow, or every one of them will be looking for a job. They weren't real happy about it. So anyways, they dropped me off and just taken off, didn't pay attention to any, you know, what house I walked into or anything. And I mean, the whole story is that I really made a big deal about this getting up an hour earlier, and I slept in. Oh my God. So these guys, they get up an hour earlier, and then they set out in the street for an hour and 40 minutes waiting for me. And I spring out of bed, I'm like, oh my God. Go flying out there, I jump into Crummy. Well, this is where it really, really gets funny, because the guy that was driving Crummy actually had slept in a little bit too. So he was speeding to get to my house, and he got pulled over and got a speeding ticket. So now he's super mad because he got a speeding ticket, and then I was an hour late. So I'm like, we gotta go, you gotta haul ass, you know, and da-da-da-da-da. And he's like, oh, I ain't getting another speeding ticket. I'm like, well then pull this SOB over and I'll drive. So down the highway we go, and I fall asleep, and he starts cussing, and I wake up and we're getting pulled over again because he's speeding. So we ended up being like 4.5 hours late to work the first day of my hooking job. They weren't real happy with me about that. But I mean, it's a funny story, though. That guy, he was not happy with me about getting those 2 speeding tickets. I mean, I made a big deal about this Crummy is leaving at X and X time, and if you're not here, da-da-da. And it's good times, good times. Oh, quit talking. Anyways, as I was saying, in the first How'd I Get Started Logging video, you know, I had to have the knee surgeries done. That's why I'm running equipment. Well, I had this same rig and slinger for about almost 9 years. Good rig and slinger, damn good rig and slinger. And when I had my first knee surgery done, I was out of work for 7.5 months, healing up over it. And he told me that he thought I had hydraulic fluid running through my veins because I never stopped. I worked. And so him and the choker setter and the artery engineer all went together, and they paid to get a tattoo done. And I'll get a shot of it because it's a broken hose with hydraulic fluid, and I got it over the scar where my knee surgery was done. So, you know, kind of represent all of that went on. So that was pretty cool.